since you felt like you were loved. So what went wrong?
Hey guys, I'm Dave Terry and this is video number 2. In this video I want to talk about just product selection and just give you some tips on what you should or shouldn't buy. And like I said, I've been playing drums for 40 years now, and in my 40 years of playing drums I can tell you that I have pretty much tried every brand and pretty much every style of drums. I've played pretty much every brand and style of heads. I've played pretty much every brand and style of cymbal, every brand and style of stick, every brand and style of hardware. You name it, I've played it. I know there's a lot of new brands that are on the market now that's come out in the last few years, and I haven't played those or some of those, but pretty much majority of what's on the market now, I've been there and done that. So, and I can tell you, just in my 40 years of playing drums, you know, I've experimented with so many different products and just so many different ways of using different products, and so what I have come to the conclusion is that what I use now is what I like. But now, just because what I use is what I like doesn't mean that that's what you should use. Because here's the thing, the best product for you to use is a product that you're happy with, and a product that you like, product that sounds good, product that looks good. That's what you need to use, okay? So don't take my advice and go out and buy what I'm using just because that's what I'm using. You get what you need, but just say, let's say you don't have a drum set yet. Say that you're wanting to get into playing drums, and you want to go out and buy a drum set, and so you don't know what you need to buy, or just you need some hints on what to go get. So here's the thing. If you don't yet have a drum set, don't go buy a brand new drum set. Your first drum set, spend $200-300 tops. Go to your local music store. A lot of times they have used drum sets that were probably a trade-in or something that you can get pretty cheap. And a lot of times used drum sets will come with cymbals and all your hardware and everything that you need, and you can get them reasonably cheap. But now, don't go out and spend thousands of dollars on a big nice drum set, just because your favorite drummer in your favorite band has this drum set, and you're thinking that's what I gotta have. Now, don't do that. Just start cheap, and play on a used set for a few years, and once you get good at it and you decide you want to stick with it, then go spend whatever you want to spend on whatever drum set you want to buy. And I can tell you that with the right set of drum heads and proper tuning, you can make any drum set sound good. Even an old used drum set. Trust me, I've been there and done that. When I started out, I had actually, I think my first one of my first drum kits was actually used pieces from about 5 different drum kits that I put together, and man, but I'm telling you, man, just the right heads and proper tuning, they sounded great. Even though they were old, wore out, beat up drums, they sounded really good. But anyway, this is my home studio kit, and this is a Pearl X40 XR series drum set. This is not a top of the line drum set. It's not a beginner drum set either. I think this set cost between $1,800 and $2,200, somewhere around that new. It's maple shell. Like I said, this is my studio kit. I've had this kit for several years, and I love the way it sounds. I love Pearl, and I've played Pearl for many, many years, and just something about Pearl drums I love. Their hardware is good, and it's really nice and beefy. I love their hardware. So I recommend Pearl as one. Now, I also have a DW kit that I play on stage in church with my worship band, and the DW kit is actually very, very similar to this Pearl kit. They're both designed the same maple shells, and I use the same set of heads on both sets. They're both tuned exactly the same. and I use the same set of cymbals for both sets. And so really, other than the fact that my stage DW kit is mic'd and this set is not mic'd, you know, without the mics, there's really no difference in the sound. You know, just natural sound, I can't tell the difference in the two. But anyway, so I definitely recommend Pearl. Pearl's great drums, and recommend DW. And but you know, like I said, don't go out and buy a Pearl set or a DW set just because that's what I use. But that's what I like. And if I had my rathers, I don't know, I almost like the Pearl a little better than I do the DW. And I want to get one thing straight too, is that I'm not endorsing any product, so and I'm not putting down any product. Just because I say that I don't like a certain product doesn't mean that it's not good. It may be great for you. It's just I don't like, you know, it's not something that I use or something that I like. But now, the products that I do use, I'm not endorsing these products, and I'm not telling you that this is what you should go get. Okay, just understand that. So I'm just telling you simply that this is the stuff that I use, and I use it because it works for me and because it sounds great, and that's what I stick to, you know. And just and like I said, in 40 years of playing drums, I've used about everything, and I know what I like, and so I'm going to stick with what I like. And so anyway, that's drum kit itself. Like I said, just buy a used drum kit. So now let's move on to some hardware, cymbals, heads, and that sort of stuff. All right, so let's talk about cymbals. Currently I use Sabian, if you can see in the video. These are AAX Explosion Series Sabian cymbals. I've used Meynell cymbals, I've used Zildjian cymbals, and I mean, I like them all. Be honest with you, I didn't see anything wrong with any of them. It's just that the Sabian cymbals, I think I get a cleaner and more crisp sound out of them. It's more of a glassy sound, and which that's what you want to. That's what most drummers look for anyway in a crash cymbal. Hi-hat, I get a nice crisp sound out of my hi-hat. Love the way the hi-hat sounds. And my ride cymbal, get a nice sharp glassy ping with my ride cymbal. And so yeah, Sabian cymbals, I love the way they sound. I've used them for about 5 years now. Before that, I was using Meynell. I've been using Meynell cymbals for about 2 years before that. And before that, I used Zildjian cymbals, and I had been using Zildjian cymbals for 20 some years. Actually, when I started playing drums, Zildjian was what I started out with, and then I actually switched to it was another brand. I can't even remember what it was now, but went back to Zildjian, and then went to Paiste cymbals. And then after Paiste cymbals, went back to Zildjian again, and then back to Meynell cymbals, and then I found this set of Sabians, and got a really good deal on those, and I've been very happy with Sabian cymbals. But there again, you know, this set of cymbals, everything that I have, it's pretty expensive though. But you know, for a beginner drummer. Like I said, find you a used kit that already comes with the cymbals, and don't worry about what kind of cymbals they are. Upgrade later as you go, as you become better, and don't go out and spend a couple $1,000s on a set of cymbals. Or if you buy a used drum set that doesn't come with cymbals, just look for, a lot of music stores will have these too. They're like beginner series. You can get them in packs. It'll come with a crash, a ride, hi-hat, everything you need, and you can get those a lot of times for $150, $200 or so, give or take. But anyway, so that's my preference on cymbals. And like I said, I'm not endorsing Sabian, and I'm not putting down any other brand cymbal. Sabian is what works for me. And talking about the crispness of my hi-hat and my ride cymbal, that brings me to sticks. So I want to show you, I mean, there's hundreds of different variations of drumsticks. You can buy big fat heavy drumsticks. I don't recommend that. You wear yourself out playing. You can buy a real light flimsy skinny drumsticks. I don't recommend that because you'll wear them out and you'll be buying drumsticks right often, trust me on this. But this is what I prefer, and again, don't go buy it just because this is what I prefer. I use ProMark brand sticks, and these are a 5/8 stick with a nylon tip. Now, the reason that I like the nylon tip is, number one, because the nylon tip gives me a good glassy, sharp, crisp sound on the ride cymbal, as opposed to a wooden tip stick. And I don't even have a wooden tip stick, but I can show you the difference if you use the other end of the stick. If you can hear the difference there. But anyway, so I prefer the nylon tip, and other than the sound quality, another reason that I like the nylon tip is because I played wooden tip sticks before in the past, and a lot of times what happens is you hit a cymbal and you chip off a little piece of the tip of the stick, and you don't realize it because you're playing, and then so what happens is you make a round on your toms, and then all of a sudden you look and you got this big divot or even a split in your head that was created from the splinter or the chip missing in the tip of your stick. And don't have that problem with nylon tip. So I definitely recommend a nylon tip stick. And another thing too is with ProMark sticks, I've bought these. It's a Shirakashi. It's an oak drumstick. And these are more expensive. These are about 13, 14 bucks a pair. And they're more expensive because they're oak and they should last a lot longer. However, I have found that I buy these sticks. It's just American hickory. And the American hickory is about $7 or $8 a pair. And believe it or not, I don't know why, but they last longer than the solid oak sticks. Go figure. I don't know. So anyway, that's drumsticks. Now let's talk about drum heads. Now, what I use Remo. These are Remo Weather King. These are ebony pinstripe heads. And I love the ebony pinstripe heads, well mainly because I think they look really good. This drum set is a silver sparkle, and the ebony pinstripe head just really sets it off. I mean, to me it just looks good. And but in addition to looks, they sound really good. They are a dual layer hydraulic head with an oil between the layer. They last forever. I love them. And like I said, I've tried pretty much every kind of head there is on the market, and to me these have the best overall sound. The tone that I get from these heads, you can't beat Remo heads. No, I mean, and I've tried Evans heads, and I've tried a lot of other kind of heads, and like I said, again, I'm not endorsing Remo heads, and I'm not putting down any other company's heads, but Remo heads, what I prefer. And I use the same set of heads here on my studio kit and also on my kit on stage. Same heads. And for my bass drum, I use a Remo Power Stroke 3. And the Power Stroke 3 just gives me an incredible kick drum sound. And it's a studio quality kick drum sound. And if you can hear this. I don't know how well that sounds on camera without being mic'd and running through a soundboard, but anyway, Remo heads, recommend. Sabian cymbals, recommend. And like I said, just use your best judgment on drums, and just buy what you prefer. Anyway, these are just some suggestions for you, and talk about some other stuff in my next video. Next video, I'm going to talk about actually setting up your kit and show you the proper way to do that. So tune in next time. Thanks for watching.